If you don't feel like roasting a huge turkey for Thanksgiving, don't worry. This turkey roulade is the way to go. This turkey roulade isn't stuffed with a traditional stuffing. It's a pancetta and kale stuffing. Sautéed pancetta with onion and garlic, sage and thyme added for those perfect Thanksgiving spices, finished with a lot of kale and Parmesan, then all rolled up into some turkey breast. Let me tell you something. This is a lot easier than roasting a whole turkey, and I might say more flavorful. It is definitely gonna be on your Thanksgiving menu. All that's coming up on today's Wise Guide. I totally get it. Thanksgiving can be a lot to think about. There are so much food to make, side dishes, salads, and sometimes roasting a whole turkey not only takes a lot of oven space, a lot of time, but it can also be cumbersome. It doesn't always taste the best, it can get dried out, you don't know how long to do it. That's why sometimes I just love to do a turkey breast. But to make it a little bit more special, I like to butterfly them and roll them up with a delicious filling, and that's exactly what I'm gonna show you how to do. It's so good that my family keeps requesting this, and I love to make it. If you want something easy but extremely delicious this Thanksgiving, this is the way to go. To start, you just wanna saute up some pancetta. I like to use the thick cut pancetta and make sure it's cubed. To make this extra special, because it is Thanksgiving, I am sauteing it in butter. Yeah, pancetta has some fat, but you wanna add some of that delicious butter flavor. Once the butter is melted, I just add that cubed pancetta. Just evenly coat the pancetta in the butter and keep sauteing until it starts getting crispy and brown on all sides. While the pancetta is sauteing slightly, you can just get ready your onion and your garlic. Just dice up your onion into small pieces and do the same with your garlic. So the garlic gets out of that skin easily, just cut off the ends and then with the side of your knife, smash it. Take off that peel really easily and then just mince it up really fine. Once the pancetta is sauteing and getting just a little bit of color, you can add your onion. Saute it until it's just a little bit softened. Add some salt and some pepper. Once the onion is softened slightly, you can just add in your garlic. While that's all sauteing up, you can get ready your herbs. Just strip off some of the thyme leaves. If you get a little bit of stem, that's okay if it's tender, but you don't want to get any of that woody stem. And then some of the sage leaves, I just like to roll them up really tightly, run my knife through them, and then chop them up really finely. Run your knife through the thyme too, just to make sure any of those little stems might be cut up. Add all those herbs, and while they're really releasing their flavors, you can just get ready the kale. I know you probably think, man, you use kale and everything. I do. Not only is it delicious, but it's a great flavor carrier. It's really sturdy, so it holds up well and doesn't just wilt to nothing like spinach does, but it also looks great when it's rolled into a meat. Just dice it up really finely, and don't worry, with all these other delicious flavors, you are not gonna think this is too healthy. Add your kale and just stir it around till it's wilted and gets really glistening. That means it's gonna start breaking down and not be so tough. Pull it from the heat and pour all that right into a bowl just so it cools off. While that's cooling off, you can just shred your Parmesan cheese. Usually like to shred it really finely, but for this, since it's gonna be incorporated into a roulade rolled up and baked in the oven, and it's just all gonna melt anyway, I just use a thick slicer so it goes a lot quicker. Cut a lemon in half and just squeeze it over the whole mixture. It really brightens the flavor and makes everything pop. When that kale mixture is about at room temperature, just add all that grated cheese, stir it up, and set it aside. This time of year, it's really easy to find turkey breasts. Why do we just eat turkey one time a year? I have no idea, because it's really good. But just go to the store, usually they're even in the frozen section. If not, ask your butcher. You want the whole breast with the skin on. That means 2 breast pieces, because the turkey has 2 breasts, and that they're cut off the bone. You can cut off the bone yourself at home, but it's a lot easier to buy it already deboned. Once it's laying in front of you, just slice each one open like a book. That way it's gonna be thinner and there's gonna be more area for you to roll up that filling. Once it's all opened up, just cut off some string, make sure it's baker's twine and nothing with a synthetic or a plastic coating on it, because that's just gonna melt into the meat. And that's gross. Sprinkle salt and pepper over the meat. You need to definitely season the meat at this point too, just so you really get layers of flavor. Spread your filling evenly onto that open turkey. You can leave a little bit on one end without any filling because that's what you're gonna roll up. Once all of that filling is on top, just roll it up from the short side. That way you're really gonna get a good roll on it and you're gonna get a nice swirl in there. Roll it up really tightly, make sure that skin is still intact, and then use those pieces of string to tie it shut. Just to help when tying meat, make 2 turns with the string before you tighten it. That's gonna really help it hold while you make the final knot. I like to do it about 4 or 5 times across the meat just so it holds really well. Just make sure to trim off any of the extra part of that string just so it doesn't burn in the oven. Set the meat on the roasting pan and then just melt a little bit more butter. Yeah, it's Thanksgiving, you need to enjoy it. It adds a lot of flavor. Once it's melted, add some more of that sage and the thyme. Just kind of tear them up in your hand, throw them in so they release their flavor. And then brush that onto the outside of the turkey. Not only is it gonna coat it and give it some great color, it's gonna taste delicious. So just put it all over that turkey outside and then right into the oven to roast. Once it is golden brown all over, that skin has crispened up slightly and it registers about 145 on an instant read thermometer or a meat thermometer, pull it out from the oven and let it sit. Yeah, this is just like any other big piece of meat. It is really important to let it sit because it's gonna finish roasting and there's so much residual heat in there. Before you slice the meat, make sure to cut off all of that string that was tying it together. Nobody wants to eat that. Once it has sat for about 20 minutes, you can slice it up and serve it. And let me tell you, everyone is gonna love this. That filling has infused the whole turkey with flavor. It is so moist and delicious. This Thanksgiving is gonna be so good because you didn't slave away on a huge turkey that probably would end up dry, and it looks amazing. Everyone's gonna be so impressed with you. And who doesn't love to say roulade? It just sounds good. And the main dish is not the only thing at Thanksgiving. Don't worry, I have a great side and dessert coming up for you, so this Thanksgiving can be something unique and delicious. If you agree and like this video, make sure to like, share, subscribe. For the recipe, go to the description box, and as always, have an awesome and happy Thanksgiving.